2, 1.
Welcome to Antimatters.
Hello everyone, something a bit different today. Back to my roots. When I first started making videos, I used to pile all my ant species into one update. I moved away from that for some reason, I've forgotten. I think it was just because I'd make one video a month, and if I broke it down into lots of different ants, I could have lots of episodes a month. However, times have moved on. I'm not going to put them all back into one video this time, but I've grouped the ants into 4 gangs. I will rotate through the 4 gangs every week, so once a month you'll get to see every single colony. The groups are nice and varied, so there should be plenty of action. So let's start by introducing the first group. Everybody make some noise for the biggest colony in Group 1. Woo-hoo! They are the hyperactive Pheidole Yeensis. They're beautiful and have recently hit maturity. Exciting news on them this episode for sure, 100% guaranteed. They are joined by the mystery species I chose at AntCon 2022. A warm welcome to the Cremagaster Scutellaris, or Valentine. I love their heart-shaped gasters. Talking of love, the third colony in Group 4 is one of the most underrated pretty ants out there, and I love them. Hailing from the Lasius family, you might have guessed who they are. Lasius flavus, obviously. I've currently got 4 queens at the moment as well, after getting an extra 3 the other day. Stick around to find out where from. The flavs are beautiful, but the neck scales give them a run for their money. They could die at any moment with no warning, but right now they're still with us. While they're on the plane of the living, I'm super happy to introduce the final member of Group 1. The Manica rubida, the hench fire ant, as I like to call them. I'm so happy the queen is still alive though, and she's bloody aesthetically pleasing. Let's dive in then. Before she pops her clogs and leaves me heartbroken, the mighty Manica up first. I'm extremely happy with this colony's growth so far. There are about 7 workers accompanying Her Royal Highness right now, but looking at the brood, they will be joined by loads more really soon. This orange little girl has recently enclosed, and it's a good sign if you ask me. She's part of the second wave of workers, after the first wave have all popped out. Once the first lot had popped out, the queen started making some more eggs, and yeah, these are the second batch. Since the workers have turned up, the queen has got to put her feet up. The rest of them are doing all the work now, so she can concentrate on laying eggs. It's really hard to see, but she's taken advantage of the easy life and actually laid a 3rd batch of eggs. I've no idea if laying in waves is normal, but it seems to work for my manicas. Me and this queen are really close, so I hope she makes it. She's due a 2nd coronation soon if she persists, gaining the much coveted title of Queen of Queens. I respect that title a lot, and it means I'll move heaven and earth to keep her okay. No amount of care is too much for a Queen of Queens, and I live to serve. Previously, the title was held by a Myrmica Rupa Queen, however, she was a victim of treason. Her workers attacked her and forfeited their easy life forever. Long story short, they got kicked out of their tank after, because I couldn't warrant it without the Queen of Queens. The Care Bears live in it now. Back to the rubida though. They're eating well and love their sugar and protein. Will she survive though? I don't know, but I can dream. Long may she reign. Into the second colony. Let's quickly cover the flowers. My older one queen colony is slowly growing and a few cocoons are scattered around the tube. I can't lie, at this size, they're relaxing, also known as boring. I still think they're great though, and they really come to life at around 50 workers I find. After my Flabbergeddon, where I lost my 2 queen colony, I'm really keen to get these girls going nicely. At the beginning though, I said I had 4 queens, so where are the others I hear you ask? They're in a tube, busy founding. These were a gift from my good friend Ant's Ramblings. Huge thank you to him. They got a nice pile of brood littered on the floor, and I'm really excited to see where they go once these workers hatch. They're fully claustral, so I'm going to leave them mostly alone till they have some workers. I think it would be epic to have a 3 queen Flavus colony though, as they'd likely outpace my 1 queen colony. Fingers crossed. Now let's jump over to my craziest colony out of all of them. They're even crazier than the Carabera diversa. The Pheidole Yeensis. Out of all the Pheidole I've kept, being Noda, Pallidula and Yeensis, these are by far the best. They have big workers, they swarm food in about 2 seconds, massive majors, and also a shit metric ton of queens now. I covered their elates in the last video for them, so check that out if you like. They've maintained elate production and the nest is full of winged and wingless queens now. I've noticed since the wingless girls have turned up too, brood production has reached new heights. This has got me a bit suspicious, and there are a few possibilities for reasons behind this. First option could be more food, however they're on a diet. Second is it has been warm recently, which may have affected the brood output. But they're at 28 Celsius most of the time anyway. Finally, my favourite option, which I'm really hoping is the one, is maybe the wingless queens have been fertilised. On the topic of Pheidole Yeensis and inbreeding, it's really hard to get any solid information. Some people with mature colonies say yes, they do inbreed. A lot of people with no colony say no, they don't inbreed. I've decided to pull a few queens out and separate them so we can actually get a final answer. I got these 2 queens out earlier, so no action yet, but should see soon. They've got a month before their next appearance, so that should be plenty of time to work out what's going on. I will also make a lone queen tube as well, because these queens have some workers, which may compromise the experiment. I'm very interested to see if they are proper queens though. I can't lie, they'd 100% end up in my shop if they are. The Yeens are really something special though, and are going from strength to strength. They're also at 7 tubes now, in their large Saturn, after I added 2 more. It's starting to get quite packed out. Once the 7th tube is full, I'll have to figure out a diet or an expansion. Likely the latter, as they're already on a diet. It's successfully slowed their growth well, keeping them manageable for a lot longer I feel. It's important to go steady on fast growers, or they become a pain in the butt faster, and you ruin your own fun to be honest. Personal view as well, it takes more skill to grow a bonsai than a huge oak tree. Hard equals more knowledge. I'll keep the tubes in a quiet place though, and keep my eye on them. I'll also be keeping my eye on the big colony to see if I can see any frisky boys getting busy with the shears. So, on to the fourth girls. Last up, a small 4-month-old Scutellaris colony. At the moment, the Cremagasta Scutellaris are nothing special really. I describe them as the adverts before a great movie. I know Ryan over Antscapes has properly got to the movie now though, and they seem a whole bunch of fun. His setup is amazing, so I 100% recommend popping over to his channel and checking them out. They're a really easy ant to keep as well, so if you're just starting out, they'd make a great first ant. I find them very photogenic too, and they're a good looking ant. As you can see, they have loads of brood, so are set to grow quite fast, I feel. Explosive growth is one of their favourite things to do, and I think they're really going to expand their numbers. We'll have to do a comparison in a month between now and then. If all goes to plan, the growth should be quite clear. I'm really happy that I chose this species at AntCon. It's really satisfying having the scuts as a sort of living piece of AntCon I got to take home. Well excited for AntCon 2023 though as well. If the Scutellaris are still movable and thriving by May the 13th next year, I'll probably take them with me to AntCon 2023. Let them visit their old friends and carers at Antantics. Just be sweet, that. That about wraps up today's special new format show. I would love to know what you think of it. I'm really hoping you all enjoyed it. With ANN News taking half my video time at least, I was struggling to keep up with the action. So I hope this format lets me share as much ants as I used to when I was making 2 ant videos a week. ANN is definitely here to stay though. We'll see how this also works out. Thanks for watching though, have a fabulous week, see you next time, and bye!